You're only destroying the future, not only the children, but also the teachers.
Vernacular schools, yes or no?
When people ask me about all these, let me say, questions, I would say that is not my priority at the moment, because
Right.
I need to make sure that everybody have an equal access to quality education. And I mean by quality education is not only the contents of education, but also it involves the infrastructure and the infrastructure.
English as the language to be used for some subjects, math and science. It was English, then it was not. Then it was English again, then it was not. What are your thoughts on that?
The question would be why? They say that is it because of English, or is it because of science, or is it because of mathematics? I concluded that some people they thought that you want our children to have a better future, they must know science and math in English. That is not the answer, because when you have a boring content, you have contents of mathematics and science that the children have to write them and they cannot apply them in their life, and ended up they cannot they cannot make themselves they cannot make those lessons applicable to their life. What's the point of it? When you have a lot of teachers who are not well trained, not in English, not in mathematics and science, but you are forcing them to teach mathematics and science in English, you're only destroying the future, not only the children, but also the teachers.
Let's talk about the education level of teachers. The general consensus or perception is that if you can't get a job anywhere else, you become a teacher. That's what people generally think. Do you agree to these perceptions?
I would say it's a false prejudice towards teachers, because you know that the very basic qualification to become teachers nowadays in Malaysia is you must have a degree.
Right.
And to get him or herself to the IPG, Institute Perguruan, and also to the Faculty of Education, it's not easy. You must have a good grade.
You must qualify for it, right?
Yeah, qualify SPM. You must have a good SPM result to get yourself qualified to go there. And to be honest with you, it's not really what people thought and people perceive, that you cannot do anything else than you choose education. That is not the case, because I've seen with my eyes, and in my own constituency, a lot of my constituents after the SPM, they have handsome result and they chose to go to Institute Perguruan IPG.
Private school versus government school, there's always going to be a comparison. What are your thoughts on this?
No, it's a matter of choice. Maybe. I mean, everybody have their own preference. Some of them, they thought that they're sending their children to private school because of quality. Some of them, they're sending their children to private school for some religious conviction or religious preference. Some of them are sending their kids to private school because of the language issue.
Or future prospects, even connections and networking, I suppose.
Yes. And talking about private schools, they are a different spectrum of private schools and different kind of private schools. They are international schools, and they are sekolah agama, and they are vernacular private schools, and all sorts of different things. And it's a matter of choice, and you cannot blame anybody who send their children to government school or the private schools. It depends.
Digitalisation of education. Should we have done it earlier? Because in Singapore, they kind of already were trying it out already, and then it was more of a smoother transition getting into it for our teachers and also our students. What are your thoughts on this?
It's not only the case of Malaysia. The same question been imposed to educators and experts in education in other countries. The other day, when I was in a discussion with few educators from southern part of Asia, they were talking about the same issue. And I was surprised if that is the case of, let me say, the developing countries. But the same issue is being debated in the UK. The same issue is being debated in some, let me say, developed countries. Due to the pandemic, the level of preparedness, and people said, "Oh, we should have been done this 5 years ago. We should have been done that." But if the pandemic didn't happen, people never talk about it.
That's true. Yeah.
And actually, we have started it since 2012, but the implementation of it.
Yeah. Will we ever get to a point where we're 100% just relying on digital, or will it always be 50-50?
Digital education and technology is inevitable. You cannot avoid it. It's the future. It's going to be part of our life, whether we like it or not. It is here, it is there, and it's going to continue to be with us. But again, when we talk about education is not only about the content. It's not only about what's being taught, but it is all about communication. It's all about the relationship between the students and the teachers. Because a lot of things, yes, you can learn online, but when it comes to values, you need to have a face-to-face experience between the teachers and the students.
Hey guys, we hope you loved that discussion, but for the full discussion and all our other videos, click right here. And remember, don't be a dick.